President Obama is the first African-American president. And I wanted to hear from you, what does it mean for the rest of America? And does this make you personally feel proud to be an African-American today?
No prouder than it made me feel in 2007. I mean, I've not determined what I feel pride about on things like that. It is significant, though, for the reasons that I said, and for other reasons as well. I mean, you could say that Barack Obama was the right person at the right time in history, regardless of his skin color or his racial background. He came along at a time when younger voters in America were angry and aching for change, and he was able to articulate that change in a way that none of the other people against whom he competed could do. And so I maintain that his being an African American and getting elected is actually less significant than his being a person who could take the proper pulse of the American electorate and respond to it at a time when it really needed it. To me, the election was just a culmination of a historical evolution that was inevitable.
And what does this election mean for American diplomacy, seeing that you're an Afro-American ambassador that's in an African country?
Well, I mean, I don't think that what he means for diplomacy is necessarily restricted to the continent of Africa. In fact, one of the things that I think needs to really be borne in mind, quite often, the problem faced both by Africans and by African Americans when we meet on the continent is the expectations because of that ethnicity, which I think need to be put in the proper perspective, and which are often ignored. As a diplomat of the Foreign Service of the United States of America, I just happen coincidentally to be African American. I am first and foremost an official of the United States government. And so, and the same thing with Barack Obama. He happens coincidentally to be a black man who's president of the United States, but the operative phrase there is president of the United States. And so, on the African side, I think, and I ran into this when I served in Sierra Leone, there's an expectation that because you're African American, somehow your actions are going to be different. And there is, on the part of many African Americans, an expectation that, well, because I'm African American, my reception is going to be different. And in fact, both sides get disappointed because as an official of my government, my reaction is going to be on behalf of my government, regardless. And as I'm sure you're aware, when someone shows up, yeah, you might first notice the color of his skin, but after you've interacted with him for a while, you're going to start wondering, what tribe does he come from? What language does he speak? What culture does he follow? And when you find out that he comes from Detroit, and he has no idea what the hell you're talking about when you start talking about tribes, he's suddenly an alien, right? He happens to be an alien in a familiar colored skin, but he is an alien. And I think that's one of the things that really needs to be faced head on, is that when you decide to interact with a person based on something as superficial as the color of their skin, you're setting yourself up for a huge disappointment and a pretty dysfunctional relationship. Because, you know, just to put it even more specifically, I'm an American and I'm a Texan. And I can tell you, when I react to things, I don't react to things as a black American, I react to things as a Texan. You know? And that can be very unsettling to someone who expects me to react in a different way. What it means for human rights. The hundreds of years of enslaving others and treating them as property are terrible. But if you look at the history of African Americans in the U.S., there is that bright spot that shows that these things can be changed and ultimately can be overcome. I mean, we went from being slaves, and according to the first draft of our Constitution, 3/5 of a human being, to having a black president sitting in the White House. And yeah, you can make light of that, or you could make politics of it, but that is supremely significant, in that it shows that with perseverance and with faith, you can overcome almost anything.
Thank you. Maybe just a follow-up.